Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So here's the deal. Before we jump into the wild world of V-Bucks and lawsuits, make sure you stick around till the end. You'll find out just how much Fortnite made over the years, and how many times it ended up in court fighting Apple, Google, and basically everyone else. And if you enjoy this kind of deep dive content, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell. It really helps me understand what kind of videos you want to see more of. Also, drop a comment below. What game should I break down next? Valorant? Roblox? Maybe even League of Legends? Let me know. So, ready to dive into the money pit and endless legal drama of one of gaming's biggest icons? Well then, buckle up, because we're about to get rich. And possibly sued. Let's rewind the clock. Back in 2011, long before anyone was dancing across the battlefield or building massive forts out of nowhere, Epic Games was working on something called Project Vanguard, which sounds way cooler than Fortnite. But hey, maybe they realized sounding like a Marvel villain wasn't their vibe. At the time, the idea was simple. Create a co-op survival shooter where players would fight off hordes of zombies known as husks. Imagine that. Building walls to protect yourself from the undead while crafting pickaxes and scavenging for supplies. Sounds fun, right? Well, maybe it was, but nobody really cared. The problem was that by 2017, zombie survival games were already oversaturated. Everyone had seen them before. There was nothing new or exciting about it. And honestly, even though the gameplay looked solid, it wasn't enough to stand out in a crowded market. But then, in 2017, someone at Epic had a light bulb moment. What if we added a Battle Royale mode? For free. And boom, the rest is history. Suddenly, everyone was paying attention again. Sure, the concept of Battle Royale wasn't new. PUBG had already popularized it, but combining it with fast-paced building mechanics and a colorful art style, that was genius. And Epic knew exactly how to market it. They didn't just release the game and hope for the best. They seeded it with streamers. They gave influencers early access. They created memes. They tapped into youth culture. And within months, Fortnite became the biggest game on the planet. It was everywhere. At school, on TikTok, in memes, in commercials. You couldn't scroll online without seeing someone doing the floss dance or building a ramp mid-fight. And it wasn't just marketing. The core gameplay loop was incredibly addictive. Drop, build, fight, win, dance, repeat. Every match was different. Every win felt earned. And every loss made you want to try again, just one more time. This is what made Fortnite special. It wasn't just a game. It was an experience, a shared cultural space, a place where kids could hang out, show off cool skins, and feel part of a global community. By late 2017, Fortnite Battle Royale was blowing up. People were streaming it nonstop. PewDiePie was dancing around with a pickaxe. Ninja was dominating trios. And parents were asking, why are you spending $20 on a skin that looks like a banana? But here's the genius part. Fortnite didn't just copy PUBG or Apex Legends. They added building. And yeah, at first, it felt like playing Tetris during a firefight. But once it got good, holy cow, did it feel satisfying. It wasn't just about surviving. It was about outplaying, outbuilding, outthinking. You could literally build a tower midair to snipe someone from above, or trap an enemy in a box of ramps and walls. It was chaos, but it was beautiful chaos. And let's be real, the best part was flexing your victory royale dance. Whether it was the floss, the orange justice, or the hype, you were basically saying, I won, and now I'm going to embarrass you with my moves. I mean, imagine walking into school the next day and telling your friends you did the floss dance after winning a match. You weren't just a gamer, you were a legend. But beyond the mechanics, there was another reason why Fortnite exploded: accessibility. Unlike other battle royales, Fortnite was free to play. It ran smoothly on low-end PCs and mobile phones. And it was easy to learn, hard to master, the perfect combo. So kids, teens, casual gamers, they all jumped in. And once they were in, they didn't want to leave. And because the game updated constantly, sometimes weekly, players always had something new to look forward to. New weapons, new zones, new events, new skins. It kept people coming back day after day. In fact, the constant evolution of the map became a signature feature. One season, you were fighting near a volcano. Next season, everything was frozen. Then it disappeared entirely, replaced with a new island. It was like watching a TV series unfold in real time. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks. How much money has Fortnite actually made since its launch? Buckle up because these numbers will blow your mind. In 2018 alone, just 1 year after launching Battle Royale, Fortnite pulled in over $2.4 billion. Billion. With a B, that's more than Avengers. Endgame made at the box office. In 1 year, that number is so high, it almost doesn't make sense. Let me put that into perspective. A single popular skin, say Galaxy skin, cost $8. If 10 million people bought it, that's $80 million. Just for a skin that makes your character look like a glittery space alien. And don't even get me started on the Black Panther bundle. You could literally buy a skin and emote combo for $20 and feel like you were saving Wakanda. As of 2024, Fortnite has made over $10 billion in total revenue. Yes, $10 billion. That's enough to buy a small country or fund Elon Musk's next Mars mission. What's even more impressive is that Fortnite didn't charge a monthly subscription. It didn't lock content behind paywalls. Everything you needed to play was free. The only thing Epic sold was cosmetics, and people still spent billions. This model completely redefined the gaming industry. Before Fortnite, people thought free-to-play games were only for whales, big spenders. But Fortnite proved that if you give people a great experience and offer cool-looking items, even average players will open their wallets. A huge chunk of Fortnite's revenue came from seasonal battle passes, $10 per season, packed with rewards. Players wanted to unlock exclusive content, so they kept coming back every few months. Each new season wasn't just an update, it was an event. New map changes, new weapons, new skins, and the promise of unlocking something unique if you played enough. It created a loop that was hard to break. It's not unlike watching your favorite show on Netflix. You keep going episode after episode because you want to see what happens next. Fortnite did the same thing with gameplay progression. But here's the kicker. Most of those skins and dances weren't even that expensive to make. Once a design was done, it could be sold millions of times. Essentially pure profit. You could argue that some of the cheapest content ever made, like the Take the L emote, generated hundreds of millions of dollars. Okay, so Fortnite made a ton of money. But why did it stay relevant for so long? Because Epic knew how to market like nobody else. Remember when Marshmello played a live concert in-game? Over 10 million people showed up. 10 million. That's more than Coachella, Lollapalooza, and Burning Man combined. And everyone was just sitting in their pajamas. No traffic, no lines, just music, lights, and a bunch of gamers dancing in the middle of a digital island. And then came Travis Scott's Astronomical event. You weren't just playing Fortnite. You were flying through space, getting sucked into black holes, and vibing to sicko mode as your screen flipped upside down. These weren't just marketing stunts. They were full-blown cultural moments. Moments that blurred the line between gaming, music, and entertainment. Epic also brought in some of the biggest names in pop culture. Batman, Thanos, Kratos, Naruto, John Wick, SpongeBob. At this point, Fortnite is like the MCU of gaming. If you wanted to hang out with Iron Man or fight alongside Wonder Woman, Fortnite was the place to be. They didn't just license characters. They made entire events around them. Movie tie-ins, limited time modes, themed zones. Every collab was a big deal. Every leak sent the community into frenzy. Epic understood hype better than any other studio. They mastered the art of anticipation. A mystery, a surprise drops, and it kept players coming back week after week. One of the most iconic moments was the endgame event, where the entire map collapsed into a black hole. For hours, the game was gone. Players panicked. Streamers freaked out. Memes exploded online. Then, it came back with a brand new world. That level of drama, that kind of storytelling, that's not just a game update. That's cinematic storytelling in real time. Alright, so Fortnite isn't quite as dominant as it was in 2018. Twitch streams aren't breaking records every day, and TikTok teens have moved on to Roblox and Genshin Impact. But make no mistake, Fortnite is still making bank. In 2023, it pulled in over $1.7 billion. And in 2024, with the release of Fortnite Chapter 5, new maps, and partnerships with Marvel and DC, it's seeing another surge. Plus, with mobile versions, crossplay, and a full reboot of Save the World, Epic isn't done yet. They've even sued Apple and Google over App Store policies. And guess what? They won some big cases. If Tim Sweeney ever gets a superhero movie, it'll be called Tim vs. the App Stores, and it'll be directed by Christopher Nolan. So even though Fortnite might not dominate headlines the way it used to, it's still one of the most profitable games in the world, and it shows no signs of stopping. Because here's the thing, Fortnite isn't just a game anymore. It's a platform, a metaverse in the making, a place where people gather, hang out, watch movies, attend concerts, and meet friends. It's not just about winning matches anymore. It's about being part of something bigger. And this shift from game to platform is exactly why Fortnite has survived for so long. Unlike other titles that rely solely on gameplay, Fortnite thrives on community, culture, and connection. Epic Games has turned Fortnite into more than just a battle royale. It's now a digital playground, a social hub, and even an experimental space for virtual events and experiences. Whether you're watching a live concert, hanging out with friends, or jumping into a competitive tournament, there's always something happening in Fortnite. This constant flow of content keeps players engaged, and engagement equals money, whether through microtransactions, brand partnerships, or advertising. In fact, Epic has started experimenting with branded zones. Imagine walking into a Coca-Cola-themed island or playing inside a McDonald's burger. That's the future of gaming, real-world brands meeting digital play spaces. So there you have it, the rise, fall, and comeback of Fortnite. From humble beginnings to cultural phenomenon, all powered by loot boxes, skins, and a whole lot of E-bucks. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another deep dive into gaming history. And if you haven't played Fortnite in a while, maybe it's time to drop back in. Just remember, building is OP and always dodge boost away from the storm circle.